Hi, it's Therese and it's time to Give Me 5 with Penny Black, and today I've got some critters shakers. Have you seen that the last couple of releases from Penny Black have some really cute critters, and I thought it'd be fun to sort of combine a few of these really sweet images and make some shaker cards. Starting with this bear, and it's from a little set called A Big Hug, and it has a coordinating die which I do use to cut it out as well. And today I decided to colour it blue-green. I don't know, I usually colour things, the colours that especially critters, I usually colour them the colour that I think that they should be. So this is really going outside my comfort zone today. I like to use the BG72 as my shading, and I went a little bit overboard here. He's got a serious shadow happen on his tummy, but that's okay. I came back and added some more shading to his legs to kind of compensate, and as the colour dries it does lighten and it doesn't look quite so bad in the finished shaker. I decided to do all of my colouring at once today. I just thought it was going to be easier to sort of share all of this and then go through the process of combining all my shakers together. This cake is from a set called It's Your Day. It also has coordinating cutout dies, and I thought it'd be really fun to make it a rainbow cake. I've coordinated the colours today, kind of. I've used some design papers, I know. I don't use a lot of design papers. I have some, a few in my stash, and I love it when I actually make the effort to use them. And these ones are from two paper pads from Penny Black, and one's called Summertime, which has some really bright fun colours, and the other one's actually a Christmas paper pad called Festive and Frosty. So I chose similar colours throughout all my designs today, and I've used the design papers from those pads to add some fun details and make my cards a little bit busier. I've been doing some really clean and simple cards lately, and I thought it'd be nice just to, shake it up a bit, pardon the pun, and use design paper as well. The frosting or the icing that I did on this cake, I did leave some sort of white highlights there. I'd like to colour this cake again and do it a little bit better than that. I think because it's going to be behind a shaker, it doesn't matter. I think it looks okay, but I reckon I can do better frosting. I've seen some colouring that just looks incredible with highlights and things like that. I didn't have a lot of time today to focus on that, but it's something that I do want to practice, and when I have time I know I'm going to really enjoy colouring this cake again. And I like the fact that it's a rainbow cake. I think it was a lot of fun. And I did come in with the T2 here at the end and added some overall shading. After I coloured all of my images, I did actually come in and restamp them with the Onyx Black, and that adds such amazing details to the images. So I like to leave them in place in my Misty tool, like leave the stamp in place in my Misty tool while I'm doing the colouring, and then I can come back, because I initially stamped it with the Tuxedo Black, which is a Copic friendly ink, and I could have easily come back in and restamped it with the Tuxedo. I just find it's not as dark as it doesn't give that amazing detail that the Onyx Black does. So these little mice from the same set, from It's Your Day, and this sweet little one that's floating down, I actually coloured this image 5 times. I'm only going to show you it once. And I just used different colours for the floaty down bit. What would you call it? Like the cloth that it's floating down the sky in. So I did a little trick here when I was stamping out this image. I used one piece of cardstock and just kept turning it round in the Misty, so that way I had the 4 images on one piece of cardstock, and it just made it really easy to restamp the same image over and over again, especially because I want to come back in and stamp it again on top afterwards. So you're going to be able to see that the colours that I've used today, I've got all the lids pretty much off to the side. I did sort of rotate the same colours throughout all of the card designs because they match the design papers as well. And I will also list them all at my blog, as well as lots of pictures of all the cards. So head over there and check that out. The link will be in the description below. And this is the sweetest elephant image, and it's from a set called Love and Cuddles. And I actually did stamp out and colour in a sentiment, which has a banner as well from this set, and also use the coordinating cutout dies to cut them out. I did forget to include the banner here, but you will see it. It wasn't complicated colouring, but you'll see it when I put the card together in a minute. And rather than colour the baby elephant a different colour, I just used a paler colour of the W's, and that worked really well, I thought. So I'm going to start creating my shakers now, and the most simple one I'm going to do first. This is got the blue bear, and I've stamped out the sentiment huggable, and I've used these stitched circles to create my window. I always need to add my acetate as soon as I do the windows because I forget to add it otherwise. And what I like to do is add some fun foam with some Be Creative tape on each side to create my well, and then add some design paper behind the same window. And I decided to create my own little shaker elements for this card. They're from the little flowers from the die set that's from the Love and Cuddles, and I used some scraps of bright cardstock to cut those flowers out. How cool is that etching from the stitched circles? I really like that. I used them in another card. This one. I decided to make a shaped card this time. It's a circle card, and I've used a large circle to cut out my elephant, and then the stitched circles with the large circle die cut to cut the blue border that's going to go around, and that added just a beautiful pattern. I used the large die cut again to add the acetate, and then I did some score lines here on my back card. I cut the bottom, so that's going to help my card stand up, and then I created a fold on the other one for the card to bend, and I used Be Creative tape there, added some glittery stars and some fun foam that I cut out by hand because I did try and cut it in my machine. That squished it down too much today so I didn't use that one. And then I added that banner that I was telling you about. And that has quite a few different sentiments that you can use in the set within the banner. It's a really pretty one with the flowers on it. Some more design paper again, and this time I've added a sentiment from the Good Wishes stamp set using some archival ink. I did add some fun foam here to one of the mice just to pop it up within because this is going to be a full card shaker. So I've used a shaker pouch here, and I just thought that would help hold up the center of the shaker pouch by having them one of them popped up. And I've cut a border that I'm going to add around the actual pouch itself. And I've added these are some really bright little balls, and I've just used some colours that I thought would go well with this bright fun card. Used some really thin Be Creative tape to add the whole pouch to the front of the card. And this is probably, I don't know, it's nearly my favourite one. I just like those balls, the way they move around in the shaker. I thought I'd show you another way to do a full shaker if you didn't have any of those pouches. So I've stamped a sentiment and created my own border with some pink cardstock. Added some acetate behind that, which I did mark with a Sharpie pen because it's hard to work out what acetate size to cut because pencils don't work on it. I added some cardstock behind the pink panel itself because it wasn't sturdy enough, fun foam, and some shaker sequins and seed beads. And this is a really great way to get a full shaker. I don't find that I didn't make it too high with just one layer of fun foam, and I don't find that it sags, and I think it's a lot of fun having a full card shaker. I added the little mouse with the flower for that one. and made that great sentiment a focus. That sentiment's from a set called Birthday Love. Alright, this is a fun card. I like it. This is the cake card. I've used the coordinating cutout die to cut a window in a panel because this is going to pop up on the front of the card. I've added some pink fun foam this time and some star shakers within the well, and then I can just remove the Be Creative tape so that I can create a second window. That way I can leave the shaker elements in there without having to worry about lining them up over the front of the cake. Did you notice I forgot to use the archival ink? So I did have to come back and pop the sentiment up on the front because it did smudge a bit. And that sentiment's from the beautiful heart stamp set. I hope you've enjoyed these 5 critter shakers, and thanks for watching. Remember, there are lots of ways you can connect with Penny Black, so don't forget to like today's video and subscribe to the Penny Black YouTube channel. You can also visit Penny Black at Facebook and Instagram and check out their blog and website. I've linked everything below in the description, so don't forget to head through there, and I look forward to seeing you again here next time. Bye!